is Jaimie Engle, and I am an author of middle grade and young adult books. They are fantasy thrillers for teens and tweens, but adults love them too. I was born in Westchester County, New York, which is where the Xavier School for Gifted is. And I feel very gypped that my parents never enrolled me, because I think I would have been a kick-ass mutant. When I was 7, I read Alice in Wonderland, and I remember sitting on my bed and falling into the book. And then I realized that I had left my room, and then I was back in my room. And it was a very weird, amazing experience, and that defined what I wanted to do. I wanted to take people out of this world and create experiences, adventures, fantasy lands for them to escape to. My favorite part of the writing process is editing, because that's when you really get to not only see the story take shape, but as the author, I'm technically the first reader, if you look at it that way. So I get to read through the story and see connecting points and kind of get to make them stronger and bigger for the reader. And I love just crafting something that I coincidentally put into the story and then seeing a connection later and just making that so much bigger for the reader. So I love editing. You get to change the story. I started doing panels because it's an opportunity to share your personality and your passion and who you are as a cosplayer, for me, and an author, with other people who are also either in the beginning stages of cosplay or writing and they have questions, or people that have an affinity and love for it like I do. And it's really fun to be able to take something that I've worked very hard to cultivate, like building characters or world building, and be able to take all of that knowledge and just give a little bit of that to somebody who's very interested. And it's just I love giving back, so it's a great opportunity to give back. I feel very verklempt. I love when people say that I inspire them, because so many people have inspired me, and to know that I can pay that forward is just an amazing experience attached to being an author or a cosplayer. When I started writing, never in my head did I think, well, something that I'm doing because I love it is going to cause someone else to follow their dreams, or to inspire a kid who's being bullied to stand up for themselves or for somebody else. Never as a writer did I think that I would actually inspire someone else like Lewis Carroll inspired me. That's a great question, and luckily I'm no longer a practicing realtor, but I am now have a full-time job as the communication director for the real estate firm, so it's actually like a bigger time suck. So my balance is I'm very focused and I say no to a lot. I really try and make sure that every morning I do editing or writing, usually writing in the morning, and then every night I try and do editing. And in between, when I have free time, I really try and focus on marketing to the next project, to the next fan, share information that I've learned with somebody who messages me on Facebook. So I try and stay engaged, and I have an amazing personal assistant named Emma, and she's my rock star, and she does all my social media postings. So, you know, you have to just stay active, but find ways to do it. And God forbid I should hang out with my family and walk my dog. So I really just try and make sure that everything I do has an end focus of, is this going to push my business forward, or is this expanding my reach and making my family feel better that we're all hanging out together. There are so many books that have special places in my heart. I obviously love Alice in Wonderland. I think that Hunger Games was an amazing series, and I think that Suzanne Collins is just a brilliant writer. Obviously Harry Potter. If you don't like Harry Potter, I don't know how you're breathing. But it's just such a good story and such good characters, and I love the progression of the ages of the characters and how the books grew and became darker and more mature. Just think that's brilliant. And Orson Scott Card Ender's Game is one of my favorite books. I think Ender and Katniss are my two favorite characters in literature because they both become what they don't want to be, and they have to deal with facing that fear and facing that reality. Today I would like the world to see me as Spider Gwen, but in general, I would like for my legacy to be that she always had others in service, that she was always others focused. I think if you only care about yourself and your end goal is to be successful, then if you're lucky enough to reach that point, the question is now what? And I don't ever want to be in a position to not have the answer to now what, which would be to always help other people to achieve their goals, and then you'll achieve your goals along the way. I think because we are all in a creative industry, we all have the same end goal, and that's to share our art with a larger audience and impact the world. And whether your impact is to get money so that you can do whatever you want with it, or your impact is to change somebody's life, I really feel that as an artist, all the artists I've spoken to, all the cosplayers, all of the authors, we all just want to share what we do with others. So if I can help somebody else, then I always find that it comes back to me. And that's not why I do it, but I always find it comes back to me. So when I can help a new author get some information that I didn't have and not go through all the struggles that I went through, then I really feel like I've done a service to them and saved them from some of the sadness and the fighting that I had to go through. That's an easy one. I like Spider Gwen, but my favorite cosplay is Marty McFly Jr. Back to the Future, if I was stuck in a world with one movie on replay, it would be the Back to the Future, well, I guess 3 movies. But anyway, I'll deal with number 1 only. But I love the whole fantasy, sci-fi, Back to the Future story. So I like to cosplay as Martina McFly Jr. because somewhere in the space-time continuum, Marty becomes Martina. There's so many cosplays I want to do. I think one that sticks out is Vanellope from, oh my gosh, I just forgot the name. Anyone remember the name of that movie? Wreck-It Ralph. Vanellope von Sweets is just adorable, and I think she would be super fun to cosplay. So maybe in the near future I will become Vanellope, and I'm looking for a Wreck-It Ralph if you're out there. 2 pieces of advice if you are a writer and you're looking to publish a book. The first one is the ones who make it never gave up. And that has been my saving grace so many times when I was ready to throw in the towel. And the other piece of advice would be to write every day, even if it's crap. Write every day, because the act of doing it, just like working out or just like practicing for a sport, your muscle memory begins to grow without you even realizing it, and you'll become a better writer. Oh, I love helping kids. If you're a kid and you want to become a writer, then I would recommend reading. Read everything you can, especially books in the style of writing that you want to write. If you want to write mysteries, then read lots of mysteries. If you want to write like Harry Potter books, then read books that are similar to those, and just read as much as you can. My goals in life? That's like the most loaded question ever. For my career goals, I have 3, and one of them I've achieved was to book sign in Barnes & Noble. That was a big step, so I have that one knocked off the bucket list. The next one is I would love to be a New York Times bestselling author one day. And the third is I would absolutely feel like I have reached my what now moment when I can see one of my books on the big screen.